Until not a long time ago, I felt quite lost. I wasn't depressed, but I always felt some sort of inner emptiness. As I felt this emptiness, I started to fill up myself with things that seemed to refill or fulfill my inner emptiness. And it was obvious what I had to do. I did what everyone did. I was drunk every weekend, I watched porn, and I played video games all the time. The morning after the booze, the minutes after the wank, and the tiredness after eating bullshit again. Sooner or later, I realized that these things won't make me happy. Modern distractions promise to fill your inner emptiness, but they actually make you dry out even more after consuming these things. It's so easy to stay distracted nowadays. It happened to me, it still happens to me, and it happens to everyone if you're not careful. Everything hungers for your attention. And especially nowadays, with these modern distractions that are new for our species, it's extremely important to be aware on where you put your attention at. You don't have to live like a monk in a monastery, but there will be phases when you need to focus and gain clarity. Then it makes sense to remove distractions from your life in order to grow and get forward. If you take a look around, it's pretty fucking easy and normal to be a distracted person nowadays, but you will never be a productive person if you're constantly distracted. As I was looking outside for fulfillment inside me, I removed distractions for some time now, and I found this fulfillment not somewhere in the outside but inside me. This source has always been there, and it's also inside of you. And yes, it's easier to distract yourself, but that won't get you anywhere in the end, and you don't have infinite time on this earth. In this video I summarize my process for gaining clarity to help you achieve the same. So that this video doesn't become one of many in which you feel productive because you're watching helpful content and don't put these things in action after watching it, I recommend you to take notes, and then in a second go through you internalize the information and actually act upon the information given in the video. What missed when I felt empty was a purpose. I didn't have a reason to be energized and not distract myself. To get clear about what you want from life, it's easier to write down first what you don't want from it. Therefore, you have to create a so-called anti-vision. Like, what is your horror future? Where do you definitely don't want to end up one day? That's your anti-vision. And then it will be much easier to write down what you actually want from life. And that's your vision. Your vision is like your navigation. You define a direction on where you want to go. And then I recommend you to imagine your future, your ideal future, your vision as vividly as possible. Start to feel comfortable in your vision, since your vision is outside your current comfort zone. And that's how you can expand your comfort zone only with your imagination. After all, to achieve something in the outside world, in the physical world we know, you must first see it in yourself. Your vision is your anchor. It gives you strength and keeps you from losing the view of the big picture in difficult situations. And by constantly developing, your vision will keep you humble and keep you going. Life never stops, so I would go with the flow and not hold on things that have happened to you in the past. Alright, now you have your vision, and then you can break your vision down into stages. The next stage of your vision should be 1 year away from your current situation. The situation in a year should be a clear step out of your current comfort zone, but also achievable. The difficulty here is to not make the goal too difficult and not too easy. You should always be just one step outside of your comfort zone, not less and not more. If you move out too much out of your current comfort zone, you will get overwhelmed and give up soon. It's a process. Your starting point is today. Based on your stage, on where you want to be in 1 year, define a goal that brings you there. Then break your goal in monthly goals, in weekly goals, and then in daily habits. Figure out which daily actions bring you to this goal. You will fail, learn your lessons, fail again, and ultimately you will succeed. That's what life is about in the end. It's a cheat code for life to become comfortable in the situation what we call failing. In the end, every mistake is a step closer to your goal. The only true failure is not trying. And there will be situations that will seem to take you away from your goal in the short term. And I want to say, we don't have to understand everything. And we can't. Actually, we don't know anything, but that's a different subject. There are forces that want to protect us from things that our mind, with its limited perspective, can't see. Relax and look at the big picture I mentioned earlier. Your vision. Especially in difficult situations, as I told you, it's your anchor. Let go and don't try to control everything. Save yourself the frustration, because how often have you realized in retrospect that in the end it's just fine the way it is? Alright, now your purpose is given. You have written down what you want to achieve one day in the future and what actions you need to take on a daily basis to bring you there. You will soon realize whether the goal you have set yourself is yours or has been imposed to you from the outside. If you feel more energized when you start to follow your defined goal, it's your goal. You will be automatically focused on that goal. To others, it may seem difficult on what you're doing, but to you it happens with ease, almost automatically. It will become easier for you to say no to things that don't align with your vision. And after a certain period of time, your task in one area will be completed. You can't say how long it will take for your task to be completed. You can think of it like an onion. You have to unfold each layer to get to the circle. Each layer of the onion is a purpose you pursue for a certain amount of time. You will know when it's time to move on to the next layer. You will feel that you're ready and have completed your task in this area. Then it's time for a pit stop. Every layer is a constant journey of expanding your comfort zone. And one day you will probably have shed all the layers. All the lessons you learn along the way will make you wiser. During this whole process, it's really important to stay open-minded and never think you've finished learning. You will develop yourself further during this process of unfolding your true potential. I want to point out here that how important it is to take the first step. As I mentioned, you will have checkpoints, the pit stops, that will give you time to plan your next step. That's the time between the completion of one area and the start of the next one. So life is like one long Formula 1 race. You can't drive at full speed all the time. You need the pit stops to win. So your next step are reduce your external distractions to realize what you really want from life. And then take the steps with vision creating, and then set a goal for 1 year and then break it down to monthly, weekly and daily goals or habits. And then you have clarity, then you have purpose, then you know what you have to do. And it's so important to just start and take the first step. Everything else will come naturally, but until you take the first step, nothing will happen. I'm always grateful when I'm pointed to content that potentially help me. So if you know someone who could potentially benefit from this video, share it. Peace.